I gotta run through real quick again. Want to know about Joey as a artist and a person. Want to talk about him here at Juneteenth and what he's doing, how he's involved. And I want to move into Joey's home and asking about Joey's home. Then I want to know a little bit about the artists that you're managing. And then beyond today, where we might be able to see them and what we can look forward to from them. That covers everything, right?
Yeah.
All right, word. I just wanted to, before we started.
Yep. It should be good. It's rolling now.
All right. I am here with the one and only Joey James. And Joey is kind of a special guest, but more than just a guest, I would say, here. He's also, in a sense, working the event and providing a lot. And Joey, I want to ask you, first off, about you as an artist and you as a person. Now, we've spoken a little bit before, but there's a lot I don't know, especially when it comes to you as an artist. So I am curious and looking forward to hearing what you have to say.
All right, so what's up, everybody? Joseph James. But I've been doing art since I was like 4. Visual arts, let me just put it that way. So I have asthma, so basically my mom used to bring me coloring supplies, drawing stuff. So while I lived in the hospital when I was younger, she used to bring me all this, so that's why I developed how to draw, fell in love with the art form, and then I ended up going to an art school, all that, to master my skills. And then music always been there. Like, my father did music, my grandparents, but it was more just it wasn't an outlet. It was more like I just loved it, and it's always there. So then I started, as I got older, I got into music, and then I just combined everything that I learned from the visual arts to music, and just started dabbling into everything. And then in 2010, I took myself serious as an artist, decided to go do some shows, meet some people, funded a couple of my own tours, network with a lot of people, and then from there just started to grow and grow and grow. And then I'm here today, where now I'm still an artist, but I'm trying to do more behind the scenes. I'm trying to create a platform that I can help other artists that never had the opportunity or looking to do more. And I want to be that person with my team to provide that platform. Because I feel like, especially in Massachusetts, I feel like we have so much talent, but there's not enough outlets, And even if you try and go do your own stuff, sometimes it's a little harder because sometimes the people don't know you. So that's why, one year, I just took a year off and I went all over to different events, shows, venues, and I just met all the people in charge. And after that, it was a little easier because they already knew my name, they knew my face, so the doors was opening. And I still do that today. And I always tell artists that it's good to network. Even if you're at an event where you feel like, oh, this is pointless, you never know who you're going to run into,
Word. Well, you started to touch on it a little bit, I feel like, but again, to speak to the fact that you're much more than a guest here today for this Juneteenth event, I would like to hear a little bit more about what you are doing for the music that's going on today, how you have been sort of an assistant, a partner, more so than an assistant, to Phil here, who is the host of this whole event. So, in what capacity are you here today, and what's your involvement with Juneteenth here 2023?
Cool. All right, so yeah, me and Phil is good friends. We collab on a couple of different projects, but today he asked me to be a part of his Juneteenth that he'd been running for I think 2 years now, and he wanted to add music to this event. So he knew that I was in the music side of things, so we just came together, and then he just told me that I trust in you, because I know you've been doing this for a long time. So basically, I got together a group of different artists, dancers, singers, hip hop, R&B, all different types of genre. And the headliner for today is Latrell James. So if you don't know who he is, look him up. He produces for a lot of different big acts in the industry. He's a hip hop artist. He's also a producer, engineer. He's super talented. So so we got a bunch of acts, and I wanted to bring my world here and open up the door, especially for like we got younger artists on the bill, so they get a chance of more exposure, right? Newer audience, so it's just new for everybody, you know, and you just don't want to pass on those opportunities. So yeah, I'm here for that.
Nice. That's what's up. My next question has to do with something called Joey's Home. I would love to hear you talk a little bit about Joey's Home. This is a chance also for me to learn. So tell us all a little bit about Joey's Home, please.
So Joey's Home started with like me by myself at first, and basically my artist name is Joseph Joey James. So when I perform, it's like a call and response. So when I say Joey, everyone says home. So Joey Home. So and it basically is like when I perform, it was a way for me to it felt like I was welcoming people into my home. So it's like one of those, you know, like a greet.
Hell yeah.
So that's how it started. And I was all right, cool. So I was just branding everything, you know. As an artist, you always want to brand. And then eventually I was like, I want to turn this into a company, right? And then I tried it by myself a couple of times, but I was like, you know, you got to add on to help grow. So then I got my business partner, Ashley, who joined me. He was also my manager. And we're still together. And we created Joey's Home together and added more to it. And then we got a team now of like 7 people that we all got different, we're all working in different departments in Joey's Home. And then we manage, so the point of Joey's Home is basically creating an outlet for artists that doesn't really have an opportunity, like I mentioned earlier. So I want to be that platform out here. So when you come to Massachusetts, well, if you're an artist here, it's like, where do I go, right? Because there's no real industry for like artists, right? So you can do there's a bunch of people that do music out here, super talented, but there's no like label, right? I'm not trying to be a record label. I want to be more like the source. So like, let's say you like, man, I want a meeting with like Def Jam Records. It's like, oh, I know somebody, right? So different services like that. And then, we also manage artists. So right now I got 3 artists. So we manage BMLJR, Party Boy Woods, and Nova 6K. So those are all 3 different types of artists, different genres. At the end of the day, it all comes back to hip hop, but they can do like rock, pop, R&B, doesn't matter. All in-house stuff. Right now we're gonna be collaborating with different studios, different artists, building a network. So my job for that too is to so I do sign artists, but it's more like we're creating a big platform for like a lot of artists, but at the same time I am gonna pick my own little batch that I can like, you know, manage and put on to shows. Like today 2 of my artists is performing here at Juneteenth, Party Boy Woods and BMLJR. So I want to be that person where like, let's say I can't manage you, but I can provide you with resources. Because I always feel like when I was coming up in music, no one like provided anything for me. It was like a secret. It was kind of weird until I put all the pieces together, met people, started talking to people. And I'm the opposite where like I just give info, because at the end of the day, I'm like, you as a person, you got to go put the work in, right? I can't do everything for you. I can tell you everything. That doesn't mean you're going to go and do it, right? So that's what Joey's Homes is, just providing more for the artists.
Awesome. And you mentioned that 2 of them will be performing today. That's really cool. I'm also hoping to hear more about beyond today, where we might be able to catch, you know, some performances by the artists that you are managing.
Yeah, so right now, we don't have any like locked in dates for like shows, but we're in the process of building a couple of things. I'm building a festival for next year that I'm working on. Joey's Home Festival is going to call Home Alone Fest. So look out for that. And my plan for that is to have a home base where like, because other places have like their own festivals, and I know we got a couple out here, but I want to create something for like the hip hop community, but also it'll be like all genre. But yeah, so I want to be able to have that like every year. So we're planning for next year. That's already in the works. And then yeah, and then shows just come and go. So like eventually you can follow us on Instagram, Joey's Home Entertainment, and then we'll just add all the info there whenever you're looking for a show.
Word. I will definitely be keeping an ear to the ground for this Home Alone Fest. I look forward to coming out for that. Before we wrap up, I do want to ask you just a little more about. You said you funded your own tours, like, earlier on in your career as an artist, and I want to hear a little bit more about that. Were you doing both visual and like auditory stuff at that point? Was it like musical, but I want to know if there might have been like a fusion of that original foundation that you had created and laid down with visual art, but then as you got more into music, like in what sort of ways they might both shine, I guess, for you. I'm curious.
So me combining everything together, that I want to say that happened last year. So I threw a show for my artist BMLJR at St. Clair in Cambridge, and we had the whole venue. So it was like it was just a show honoring him, getting people to come and see him and all that. And I created all the visual backdrops, which was cool, all graphics. First time I did that, because I just never had the opportunity of doing it for myself, because half of the time when I went to different venues and performed that, there was really no like backdrop. I want to say I probably did a couple, but it was probably just like my logo, which I created. But me combining my visual arts, mostly I do a lot of cover art, album covers for artists. So that's where like the visual arts come in hand. Like I still do that for everybody today. So like my work is all over, like everywhere, So that's how I do it. The arts are always gonna be, the visual arts is always gonna be there for me, Like the merch we're wearing today, I pressed it. Like I do silk screening and all that. So that's always there. I always tell people I wear multiple arms, but I don't tell people, because I'm just one of those person. I love to learn things all the time. Like I can do video, I can do engineering, but some things I rather work with someone that like is a master, right? But obviously, if I can't find that person, then I'm just gonna do it, right? Because I have no choice. So me combining everything, I do my best, and like moving forward now, definitely I want to add more of like the arts into like what we're trying to build with Joey's Home.
Thank you for giving us some of your time.
Did I miss a question though? I feel like there was a two-part.
No. You didn't miss anything, and I appreciate it. This has been Joey James. I'm Panos. Much love. And thanks for tuning in. Shout outs to Juneteenth, and shout outs to. I'm gonna shout out one more time that Home Alone Fest, which we can look forward to next year. So, and shout outs to Sam behind the cam over there.